Good afternoon, Grish. I was actually surprised to already see somebody talking. Well, I hope I'm coming in okay. I haven't done a live stream in forever, so do let me know if I sound okay and all that jazz. But I figured I would go ahead and you hear me? Awesome, cool beans. So I don't really have a plan. I just didn't have a video made, so I felt kind of bad not having anything. So I figured I'd do a live stream. So right now I'm kind of just dabbling around, letting stuff update, things like that. I've got my Verge cluster here, which I have apparently forgotten to keep licensed, even though it's a trial license. And I got my Proxmox host, for some reason patching very slowly. And then my crappy ESXi host. But I've got a new piece of equipment, which is even worse, that I kind of want to play with. Are you on the low latency YouTube streaming? As far as I know, I think I can change it to the ultra low. Let me see. I'm on the normal latency. So if it's a little laggy, let me know. Or if it feels laggy for my responses, let me know. And I can stop it, change it, and restart it. You think it's good? All right, cool beans. That works for me. We'll keep stream health up. Okay. It does look pretty good. So we'll let that go. But tonight, make sure this is all showing up good. We are on a, there we go. That's the same as this. Sorry. We're on a new piece of equipment. I'm wanting to stand up a TrueNAS box, so I'm gonna try that. I don't know if the virtual console window will show up. I gotta relog in. Like button smashed. Thank you very much for the likes. I hope the audio sounds pretty clear. I guess I could do this. I don't have to hide my face. Everyone knows what SysAdmin Sean looks like. So this is, if you can't tell, a PowerEdge T600 610. That's kind of like literally the worst thing ever. It is so old. I'm running an iDRAC 6, but it had 8 bays and 2 terabyte drives in it, and I wanted some storage on the cheap, and this was storage on the cheap. So let me get this window up here. Let me get that added real quick so we can check it out. We'll do a window capture. We'll new. Let's see if it can find it. Oh, it did find it. Awesome. So here's what I'm working with right now. Let's get over here. What I'm hoping for. Oh, this needs to be a little bit bigger. There we go. Exit and reboot. We're going to boot off USB. We're going to try this out. This might be a terrible idea. We're going to find out, though. But I hope everybody that's been checking out the channel has been enjoying the videos. I've gotten a few comments and questions about stuff I need to do, so I am planning those videos out. I just got done presenting at a conference, and we're going through quite a lot of madness in the real workplace, so I haven't really had time to make a video, even though I don't put, I shouldn't say this, I don't put a lot of super effort in there, but I usually need to have a motivation. I need to have something to make me want to make the video, something fun to talk about or interesting that I've learned or that I can share. And if I don't have that, it's really hard for me to want to make a video. But I do want to build this little storage device out, or at least dabble in it and see what it's like. This is obviously not going to be something I would consider enterprise, so please don't. F11. Please don't take this video as a tutorial, but I may chop it up and use it as a smaller video. So. Once we get it all squared away. I can actually make this bigger. Yeah, that's much more legible, I bet. It is a quad-core processor with 48 gigs of RAM from 1 billion years ago. It does have a RAID card, but it looks like TrueNAS can handle RAID cards okay. It's just not the most recommended way to use TrueNAS, which I get. I'd love it to be JBOD. I'd love it if the RAID card could be. What drive am I going to use for this? So the drives in here are 2 terabyte Dell whatever in the world. I can pull it up here in a minute. Oh, helps if I'm over here. We want to boot into that bad boy. They are extremely old. I believe 2019 was probably when... all right, what do we got going on here? Oh, now it's mad. I guess it picked one. Here we go. Let's transform this and fit to screen. There we go. It's a little small. What video game is this? Oh, it's League of Legends, bro. I'm running it down mid. What's going on, Drew Daniels? No, the drives in here are 2 terabytes, 7,200 RPM SAS drives, so they're terrible. That's the best way to put it. But they were free. This is technically a piece of equipment I am borrowing, so it's not mine, sadly. But let's install. Let's see if this will even install. Yeah, we want to put it on that one. New patch is wild, I know, right? This release all partitions on SDA1. That's cool. But this piece of equipment was doomed for the scrappers, as they say. And I wanted to bring it back to life. Yeah, you can't beat free. Now, obviously, I'm going to have to give it back at some point, because it isn't. But I didn't want to cancel it. That's what happens when you get too crazy with the cheese whiz. I'm glad it goes right back to the install screen, though. But it's kind of cool to be able to practice, even if it's not purely good equipment. Hey. Yeah, it's good to be. You can't beat free. Create a 16 gigs. Yeah, sure, and do it. I could probably stand a half swap considering this this piece of equipment. Fabu enter yes for systems with newer components. Yeah, nope. All legacy here. No NVMEs. Barely SATA, to be perfectly honest. This is probably SATA Gen 1. The SSL cert on the iDRAC was generated in 2009. So if that gives you a pretty good gauge of how old this piece of equipment is, if you look up the PowerEdge T610s, they are literally a desktop styled chassis that is rack mountable. And it weighs about 80 pounds. And it is a server piece of equipment. It's got, you know, redundant power supplies and ECC RAM and all that jazz. It's a 2-socket motherboard, but only one CPU is ever filled in. But it was a piece of equipment that was at my workplace that had been sitting on a pallet for about 2 years since we had pulled it out. And I was like, you know what? I wouldn't mind having that. So now I have it. For now. Let's see how these are going real quick. We're going to put this down here. We're going to hide it. Take a look at these bad boys. Cloud snapshots work. My license is missing. That's my fault. And hey, system's up to date. You have a kernel update. Please consider rebooting. Let's refresh this and see what version of Proxmox we're on now. Probably still run something like TrueNAS was fine. Yeah, exactly. And I don't need 10 gig. Oh, okay. It's still 822. Let's go to updates. Oh, you know what? Reboot it. There we go. We'll let that go. And we will bring this back up. So we can see where we're at. But thank you all for tuning in and stopping by. Let me know if there's anything you want to see on the screen so that I can adjust the stream. It's pretty bare bones right now. I've got the basic generic Streamlabs alerts and things like that. I'm not really I haven't been a streamer, quote unquote, in quite a while. So I don't know what folks would want to see, if anything. But if you want chat window, or if you want, I've got, like I said, I got alerts. If you want anything other silliness on here, we can put it up, I think. So Grish, do you work in IT right now? Are you learning to work in IT? What's your current IT status, or are you just interested in IT? I forgot the IP command. IP list -a. It's not list. IP help. That's just going to give me address. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it needs to reboot anyway. So this is going to boot up into a shell, and then I guess we'll have some configuration steps, and we'll have to figure out exactly where it is, which no big deal. We add in another window, and there's our MOBA. Let me pull that up. We'll get connected to our switch. Yes. Show interface, yeah. I can't remember what it's plugged into. You work in IT, specific roles, so I have to keep up with my knowledge in labs. Well, that's cool. What kind of specialty role is it, if you don't mind me asking? I want to say it's 14. No, it's 16. All right. Interface. Show config. No. Now I gotta dig up that. Oh, I can do that. Show, let's go back out. Show running config interface. So it is on 20. Okay, so we're good there. I can just give it an IP address and it'll get 20.6. Cool. We're basically done with that window now. I already have everything cabled correctly. It's a Christmas miracle. I love that YouTube sends me an email to let me know that I'm live. You know, in case I couldn't tell. You support trading operations, white glove, mostly user facing Gloria. Oh, so like stock market type stuff, things like that. That seems super stressful. Devel, wrong cabling equal modem for me, right? Usually I get my cabling absolutely wrong. Oh my god, what the hell? This should not be on here. Did we mess up the install? Let's send a control delete. I thought we wiped the drive. That's a little weird. Unless someone in an insane movement, energy trading stuff. Now, I have seen postings for trading positions that also need HPC, like high performance computing, to help with making the trades faster and things like that. Is that anything you work with, or is it really just like those big desktops with 18 monitors so they can watch multiple different like trade stock, you know, the whatever, the stock line, whatever it's called. Let's hit F11. Oh, did I miss it? No, I got it. Devel, how are you doing this evening? Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how long I'm gonna be streaming tonight, but I just thought I'd give it a shot. Currently, we're installing TrueNAS. You get to watch me dabble and ask questions about IT if you're interested in anything. While we patch Verge in the background. Okay. Not normal. Front USB. It is. It acts like that is... That for some reason, the Windows install is actually still on there. You doing all right? Awesome. Very cool. Failed to open DevShim device, blah, 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 blah. Desktop's a 6 to 8 monitor type stuff, man. And I'm guessing they're like, we need this done yesterday. We can't, that's like, so there's this exercise that I learned to do when I was first learning about DR and BC and things like that. Right. And it was calculating the cost of downtime in your environment. Okay. And it was kind of crazy how much money, like, because I worked at a university previously. This will release all partitions on Yep, cool. You know what? I bet I need to switch it to Wi-Fi. We're gonna do that again. And for us, in the IT perspective, we didn't think a week's downtime would be a big deal, because we're just like, well, we just can't process anything. When we do, we'll process it all and it won't be a big deal. And then, the VP of finance came up to us and they were like, no. If we're down for a day, if we're down for a week, we'll practically lose 25% of the student body. Like, we'll lose all these payments and we'll lose all this stuff because we, look real bad. And then they started calculating exactly how much money really is lost if they can't process things like alumni donations and charges on student fees for meals and parking and all this stuff. So I can't even imagine how much money it costs if just one of your users is down for a day. Like, I'm assuming you probably have quite a few spare machines and spare monitors on the ready. So if someone goes, hey, my machine's acting up, you just swap them out. Yeah, you got to keep downtime to 0 if it needs to be fixed now or if money's lost. Yep. It's insane. I could do it. I hope you make good money. I hope you're getting paid quite well for that, because, oof, the stress. I mean, I guess once you've kind of got a good system down, it's not that big a deal. But until you get that system 100% laid out and you're like, okay, I got this, bang, 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 then you're good. But if replacing the desktop for your folks was like it is for my folks, you'd lose a lot of money. It would be bad. Now, do you guys use anything like, does everyone have a local machine in that type of environment? Are you using anything like VMware Horizon or Citrix or any of the like virtual desktop environments so that the machine really can't go down? Like, a hardware error can't really affect it as much as a software error? Or do they need a lot of processing power? I mean, I guess they need NVIDIA Quattro cards if they've got 6 to 8 monitors and things like that. I don't even know. Oof. Yeah, what GPUs do you use on those? Are they Quattros? Are they NVIDIA Quattros? Are there specialty displays to get 6 to 8 monitors at once? Because, I mean, I've got like a 2080 in my machine and it can do 4, and that's about it. So I'm kind of curious to know how those devices are laid out. I'm trying to think, like, Wise terminals. The only Wise terminals I know of have 2. And surely they don't have multiple machines. Well, I mean, I guess they could have multiple machines down at their desk, and you could get some of that software that lets you use one mouse and keyboard that can go across all the devices. I've seen that before. Installation is succeeded. Please reboot and remove installation media. I would pull the installation media out, but it is in my basement. So it's going to stay plugged in, and we're just not going to choose it as a boot device. Absolutely bonkers. Everyone has a laptop and desktops. Some users have 2 at their desk for redundancy. Quattro RTX GPUs. That's what I thought. That is what I thought. Bulk and secure KVM can do multiple active screens at once. Now, ooh, borderless mouse. Fancy. You know, I haven't used a KVM in, gosh, I don't even know. Synergy. That's the one I was thinking of. I've heard that's pretty good, the Synergy software. So that you just kind of install it on all the machines, and the mouse and keyboard can work around. And yeah, I'd forgotten about KVMs. They're an option. There's network KVMs. We used to have in an old data center I worked at, we had a network based KVM. So all of the servers had their, mouse, keyboard, VGA input cable on one end. On the other end, it was actually a network cable that plugged into a port. And then all of those network cables connected back into the KVM at the front. So we only had one KVM station essentially in a quiet area of the data center where you wouldn't go deaf. And then you could just switch between different servers. We had them all labeled and everything, and it worked 35 to 40% of the time, which pretty good about that. Let's see if this boots the right way this time. So that's kind of cool. Devel, what kind of IT work do you do? Hey, there we go. It should just boot on its own, I'm guessing. Yeah, 3, 2, 1. We're kind of just talking backgrounds right now. I like to hear what other folks do, because while I try to teach about enterprise, I don't feel like I'm obviously not the end all be all for enterprise environments. I'm exposed to a pretty broad variety of enterprise environments, all things considered, being in higher education, but I am not the end all be all. Let me get over here and get this guy. Let's do transform, stretch to screen. There we go. And we'll again move this up here and this up there. There you go. Now you guys can kind of see everything. You're not missing much right now. The one thing I remember being hard about TrueNAS is knowing which device you actually have plugged in for your network configuration, because it names them, whatever, what is it, FreeBSD likes to name things. So I'll have to guess, and if you guess wrong, it's kind of a pain in the butt to fix it, but it is fixable. Let's hope we don't guess wrong. PGE for Leonardo. Okay, let's see what that is. What does that stand for? That's apparently broad enough that I can't just Google it. I apologize. What is a PGE and who is Leonardo? I don't get to configure or troubleshoot anything infrastructure. I used to work in an MSP and enjoyed doing that. I like doing the infrastructure most of the time. I should say I like doing it when I get to pick what I'm doing and how I get to do it. That's not always the case. There's a lot of, I don't want to say anything too negative, but in the environments I've been in, it's always hurry up and do this. We didn't plan for it, but you've got to figure it out, which is really not the way I like to do things. It doesn't let you build a plan. But then when I get the stuff like, oh, hey, you need to design the new backup system, that's when I get happy, because that's when I get to do stuff. Huh, it picked an IP because I have DHCP, so let's check it out. There we are. Let me just shrink this down because we don't need it. Welcome to TrueNAS. I believe I should be able to log in. There we go. Let's see how this stuff looks. Yeah. No, don't save that. All right, so welcome to the TrueNAS box. That was super easy. Barely an inconvenience, as they say. I don't even know. Do we need updates? Let's go to check out system settings. No updates available. Cool. Oh, there's a check for updates button right here. No backup tasks. ENO1. We're looking good. Let's go to storage. Let's see what it sees. Create a pool. Huh. 9 terabytes. That means that stupid disk is split in half. I'm going to have to change that. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Had to step away for a second. It's that stuff you can't edit out when you're live. So I don't like this. Blah. Yeah, that's a bummer. Okay. We got to go back to something. And I might not show it just so I can get it done real quick. Well, no, that's not fair. Let's go back here. Turn that back on. We're going to reboot. I left that RAID alone from when I brought this home, thinking that it was configured in a reasonable way, but there are 10 2 terabyte drives in there, 10 or 8 2 terabyte drives, and apparently they must have given it like 2 spares, which made sense back in the day, especially if the data was critical, but this data is not critical for me, so I'm just gonna do maybe 1 spare. I don't even know. I might not even do 1 spare. So what kind of stuff do y'all like to see on an IT YouTube channel? Am I covering the content that's interesting to folks, or is there something I'm not covering? Like I said, I try to keep it really focused on enterprise. That's pretty important to me, is that it's enterprise stuff. What are some of the things you don't like about Proxmox? I find large-scale VM management a pain. I think they're working on that via cattle and pets project. We should be able to bulk action via the tag. So, stuff I don't like about Proxmox. I miss having a vCenter. So when you do have a cluster, you kind of connect to each host. I kind of like and I kind of don't like that there's no vCenter. That's sort of a grumble from me. And that might be something that maybe Verge fits the case better for you. As far as like bulk actions on VMs, yeah, I like enterprise stuff too. As far as bulk actions on virtual machines, it's not something I do a lot of. So I think that's probably one of the reasons I like Proxmox. We don't, like, our environment currently is only 200 virtual machines anymore. When we're doing bulk changes, we're doing Ansible now. We're doing playbooks, and it's to 4 machines and not 400. Though it could be 400. It's just we're not doing 400. So that's a good question, and that's kind of hard for me to answer. I apologize, because we just don't. I'm not in a situation where we do that. But yeah, you should be able to do bulk actions via tags or things of that nature. Now, one thing that really threw me too about Proxmox that I didn't quite like at the beginning is the LXCs and turnkeys. They're easy to do, and I really love them. But I'm so used to having templates and building things out myself and feeling like I know everything that's in there. Oh, okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Kind of like how you can use Veeam to do that too. We use Veeam to back up currently in VMware via tag, which, yeah, that totally makes 100% sense. I'm curious to see how the Veeam Proxmox integration goes. I want to see how they're going to integrate, because if it is going to be Veeam like it is in VMware, then surely you can use tags to do the backups. For Proxmox backup server or the basic backups, yeah, you've kind of got they don't have that tags feature in there, do they? You just sort of pick stuff. All right, let's go back in the hardware configuration. We'll go to the configuration wizard. But let's take a look at that here in a minute. Let me get this RAID reconfigured real quick. Hang on. Let's go back a second. Yeah, it's a RAID 5. To delete all existing virtual disks and create a new virtual disk, click next. Well, I don't really want to delete any, but I might have to. This is a really old system. Let's do Express and risk it. Risk it for Le Biscuit, as they say. It took all of, what, 2 minutes to install TrueNAS? I don't want to change that one. Weird. This is not easy. Yeah. Oh, there's only 7 disks in there? That's odd, but okay. You have an existing changes configuration will be lost. Do you want to continue? No. I want to edit the previous raid. The current RAID configuration is displayed below. To delete all existing virtual disks and create a new virtual disk, click Next. I almost wonder if I need to get in the RAID card controller instead of using this piece of junk. I hate this Dell utility. So you're saying like, and I might miss the boot sequence doing this, but that's okay. Let's minimize that real quick. You're saying, are you using Proxmox backup, or are you just doing this backup? Oh God, it's not coming back. We've rebooted it too many times, and the free hardware is finally showing why it was free. Oh, there it goes. I guess really maybe what they want you to do is use like pools. But I don't build pools personally. I don't like limiting my access to things. We're not going to touch anything there. Sorry, that got really big. We're going to wait for the stupid RAID card configuration tool to pop up. Not that. It's the Broadcom. You said that. There we are. I think I hit it. Yeah, there we go. All right. This. Let's delete that VD. Yes. Isn't there a button to... There it goes. What in the... Are you all seeing this? Can you can't see this, can you? Hang on. Look what someone did to protect the OS drive. Now I get it, but like, why didn't you order 236 gig drives? Ridiculous. Okay, let's see what we can do to... I'm going to make this big and it's going to freak out. Or it's just not going to get bigger. Never mind. What can I do with this? Can I pull this out? I can force it offline. I mean, I might as well nuke both these disks and reinstall at this point. Unbelievable. What do we think? A raid 1 or another raid 0? Raid 1 would give me 1 spare, right? I gotta look up raid levels again. I can never remember this. Blah, 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 blah. Raid 0 is striping. Increased performance due to parallelism. Raid 1 has a mirror. Yeah, raid 0. I ain't sweating it that much. This isn't serious data. Why do I feel like that's going to be a problem? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drives. Data. There's Seagate drives. Look at that. From 1 billion years ago. Oh. I believe we want to complete. Why can't I go to that apply screen? Yeah, that's the controller. Yeah, nuke it. God, it's been so long since I've done this. All right. While that's booting up again, let's take a look at this. What is its network? 30.2. Oh, wait. I'm dumb. I keep forgetting that you really don't do anything with the Proxmox backup server. It's just there. It allows you to back up differently. And that's about it. for some folks, there is my microphone looks a little laggy. That's weird. There's a trick way to do faux JBud using a bunch of RAID 0 drives, which is very much not recommended. I considered doing that for this, but I was like, I better not. Can you turn your mic up a bit? A little hard to hear. Yeah. Give me just a second. Or at least I can try to. How's this? Is this a little better? I was also talking a little quietly. I apologize. Nope. Bop, bop, bop. Let me also check if this silly thing is doing... Okay, it's not. Cool. Much better thing. All right, cool beans. And like I said, I'll try to talk a little bit louder. Transform, fit to screen. But we're talking about Proxmox backups, not being able to use tags yet, and configuring really improper RAIDs for a TrueNAS box. Using extremely old hardware. How are you doing tonight, Wasted Potential? Tell us about your IT career or IT aspirations or IT retirement. What kind of IT stuff do you do? We're also talking about what we don't like about Proxmox. So if there are things about Proxmox you don't like, please share with the group. 12 terabytes, much nicer. My whole system is running much slower now. So I do apologize if anything starts to get gobbly. I don't know if it's my display or what, but it's mad about something. My camera looks okay though. Maybe I've got too many tabs open. I thought I told it yes on that. Oh, I did. There it goes. I was going to show off a little bit of Verge, but I let my my license lapse, so I can't really show off much of Verge. I did patch it though, but as you can see, I don't have a valid license right now, and that's my own fault. But it does let you update without having to worry about it. Let's see if there are any more updates. Nope, looks like I'm all good. That'll come back up in a minute. But I want to thank everybody again for stopping by this evening. Like I said, I don't usually do these live streams, and I just didn't have a video to make. I did have someone comment that they'd like to see a server hardening / monitoring video, so I'll probably do that next. I'm not super good at server hardening, especially if it's anything like NIST related or serious server security requirements, but we can go over the basics. Local firewall rules, data center firewall rules, packages to kind of protect users from beating down the front door if for some reason the front door is available to anyone in the world. And then monitoring. I like to use Akinga. I don't know how to pronounce it. I've heard quite a few different ways. Let me know your favorite way to pronounce it. I like Nagios. I've never used Zabbix, but I've heard good things. I've used Opsgenie. It's terrible. Not a fan. I just don't like the idea that a monitoring system needs an agent when so many monitoring systems don't really need an agent as long as you know what you're doing. I found out this week that unless my subscriber count goes up extremely significantly, I don't believe I'll be making a living doing YouTube anytime soon, but that's okay. He said, giggling. An artist YouTuber I watch who has quite a few subscribers basically showed off what she makes in a month or in a day, in a month, and things like that. And her videos only turn out $1 per 1,000 views. That's what an artist channel gets. So like her first day, I think she made $8, and then she'd get like some $80 days, $20 days, you know, because views fluctuate, and not considering sponsorships or things of that nature. And I'm just like, oof, 1,000 views for $1. I'm gonna have to get my view count up quite a bit before I can even begin to consider this a possible side hustle / retirement gig. I think this would be a really good retirement gig. I think a lot of folks that are in different things that want to share their knowledge, but they don't want to be a teacher, they just want to retire, they should do YouTube or work for one of those plethora of training course websites that they probably wouldn't make much money at. That's a video I need to do too. I really want to talk about online training and certifications. I just took an AZ-104 course, which is pretty good, but I'm not interested in getting the certification. Maybe I should be. Let me know if you have any certifications. While we wait for this Dell box to boot for, I don't know, the 8th time so far tonight. I'm starting to worry that this microphone's actually dying. I'm not ready to replace it. It's too good. We're just gonna let that auto. Actually, you know what? I'm in a hurry. Can't wait those 3 extra seconds. This is the part that I edit out from all my videos, is the humming to myself while I wait for loading screens. You might see me leave them up and fast forward through them, but I cut all the audio out because I'm just humming to myself the entire time waiting for the thing to finish. Or I walk away. Now, I will say, while I don't 100% personally consider TrueNAS an enterprise system, I mean, I guess it can be. I believe they have contracts and support you can purchase. I am using it in an enterprise location for business continuity, because we had a Dell NX3230, which is like a Windows, and it had Windows on it and like a Windows NAS software. And we were like, no. But we really like the storage. So we installed TrueNAS on it and made NFS shares and mounted it to ESXi hosts, and it works. It gets utilized very, very little, so it's not super fast or anything. But it's got 10 gig, but it ain't got SSDs. It's slowpoke. What did I see recently? Oh, Ticketmaster had a breach for you cybersecurity folks. I hope you've seen that article. That's going to be a major pain in the butt. That the personal data and financial data, I do believe, of 37 million people is available for sale on the dark web. Ticketmaster hasn't denied the breach, but they also haven't said that the folks got all what they're claiming they have. At least that's what I saw when I last read about it. I don't know where we're at this point. What is this job? Why won't it start? You can do it. And then, I don't know about y'all, but I'm not looking forward to dealing with Windows 11 and Copilot recall on, isn't it specific certain CPUs? It's not going to be on everything, is it? I forget. But I don't want it. I'd switch to like Linux or something. But I hear video editing and content creation is not great on Linux. But I guess I could figure out how to do it and then have a side channel just about how to do YouTube with Linux. People might like that. If I want to put myself through that torture, I don't know. Hey. Curious. Oh, no, it's not up yet. Not up yet. I don't remember it taking this long to boot last time, to be perfectly honest, though, but we also weren't really paying attention to it. A watched server never boots, right? Like a watched pot never boils. It does kind of seem upset, though. Oh, at least we're on a different service. IXNet if service start running. Is it? I guess it's looking at network devices. Let's see if it pulled the same IP address. I really hope it did. I'm going to be sad if it didn't. The web interface could not be accessed. Oof. Yeah, so that's not good. Yeah, that's right. It's right there. Sneaky thing. There we are. We're back. So now we got TrueNAS backup. We're all configured. We've got some RAM, some CPU, plenty. Let's create a pool. Let's call it data, because why not? The layout's just going to be Stripe, because it's literally just one 12 terabyte drive. Bloop. Next. A striped VDEV is highly discouraged and results in data loss if failed. Yep, that's fine. Create that pool. And there we go. We have made a 12 terabyte pool of one giant disk. I don't want it to do that. How much you want to bet it crashes? Because it grabbed this for logs. Eh, you know what? It seems fine for right now, so we'll just leave it alone. So there we go. It's going to be mad because there's no redundancy, and that's fine. I don't need any redundancy. And then we will probably make an NFS share. But I also need to install... Is it on here? Oh, don't tell me it's not on here. I was going to install SyncThing directly on this and point my SyncThing server at it to copy the data, because that is the whole point. Yeah, there it is. I just typed it wrong, apparently. Boop. Now, I think I can just add this to my server, and it'll be all hunky-dory. And then I will... Applications later, blah, blah, blah. Yep. I'll do all that later. But anyway, does anybody have any questions about Verge or Proxmox or ESXi while we're here? Or Proxmox backup server or anything like that? This is just sort of my fun project for the evening. So there it is. It's deploying SyncThing. It's kind of cool. We don't need this anymore. Let's see if I have a license. I do not. Okay. That's on me. So I can't really turn on any VMs or anything in Proxmox or in Verge, sadly. So we'll scoot onto there. We are running 822. We've got our cool little appliances. We've got backups configured. Let's take a look at our backups. How are we doing on storage? I guess we're doing okay. I guess. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, we're using 14 gigs of 107 gigabytes available. We're getting quite the compression. What with there being zero changes on most of these VMs from day to day, because I don't really do anything with them. But yeah, oh wow, that's already done. That's wild. And there's this web portal. No. Well, that's cool. Well, like I said, I didn't really know what I was going to do. I didn't have any sort of video planned, so I felt bad about not having anything available. The new podcast is available tomorrow evening. Episode 2 of the podcast comes out, so if you're enjoying those, please let me know. If you're not enjoying those, also please let me know. They take a little bit more time to make, and I enjoy making them, but I also want to make sure that I'm making them for a good reason. If people don't care for them, then I'm not going to bother folks to be available for an interview that isn't going to get listened to at this time. If it's something that changes in the future, then I can always adjust that. But I don't want to bother people I've worked with for an interview. And next week we'll have videos. Maybe I want to do one on conferences and presenting at conferences. I want to do one on layoffs and downsizing and what's it called when your company gets bought by another company, acquisitions. So I want to do one about acquisitions and downsizing and things like that, and kind of talk about how folks handle those and what you should do. I'll do one on monitoring. I still want to do one on HPC. So there's a lot of topics I can cover. It's just I haven't felt like it. I've been extremely busy. We've been shorthanded at work. We're still shorthanded at work. We just finished doing a conference, which meant that we couldn't work on regular work because we had to get ready for the conference and have a bunch of people come to our area because we were hosting. But that's died down. But the problem is summer is the busiest time for us because that's when the students are not on campus. So we have to do a lot more projects. So uploads may be infrequent for a little bit, but hopefully not. I did enjoy doing this live stream. I hope you all enjoyed tuning into the live stream. I'll leave it up. So if you want to tune back into previous sections, you can, things like that. But I appreciate everyone for coming out today. It means a lot. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for any subscribes. Thanks for super chats and all of that cool stuff that is available if you want to support the channel in any way, because I don't get any sponsorships. I did actually get a sponsorship reach out, but their product was not really enterprise server admin style product. So I was like, nah, I don't think this is a good fit. And they weren't going to pay me any real money. They were just going to let me have the product, and I didn't need it. So I told them no, thank you. But I have seen some other YouTubers actually use their product. All that to say, have a wonderful evening, everybody. I believe we're going to call it here at an hour into the live stream. Didn't really have an end time, but I think this is a good place to stop now that we've got the TrueNAS box up, and we're just not really getting any questions. So like I said, thanks, and we'll see you in the next one.